All right, we probably didn't talk about this, but you're hosting this week.
Yeah, you're
Mark.
hosting.
Yo, I kind of figured. I was like, everybody's looking. What's up, guys? Welcome to
we
Anime
forgot
on
to mention
Draft. Yet again, another episode. We're all kind of just staring at each other like, yeah, somebody
are we
needs to
starting?
pick up the host responsibilities. But yeah, welcome back. This is episode 98, I believe. I am joined by Rolando and Alec, who are there.
Rolando's
They're-
above you.
they're here.
I'm to your right, left.
Sweet. We have our Twitch names in there, so just for anybody who's following along and watching live on Twitch, if we're interacting in chat, we may not be interacting with you during the podcast just because we like to get into things. That being said, make sure you follow us on Twitter. Just search at Anime on Draft. Also on Instagram, we have a bunch of pictures from all the breweries that like everybody visited over the weekend. Yeah, lots of brewery pictures are going to be up there.
Mother's Day. You gotta
So
go
follow
get
us.
beer.
Yeah, that's just that's in line with Mother's Day. You
Yeah.
just drink beer on Mother's Day.
Exactly.
So yeah, follow us Anime on Draft podcast on Instagram, and yeah, we got a lot to talk about with our Orashiri segment, Bakano episode 5 and Death Parade episode 5, as well as there was a pretty another heavy episode of Sarazanmai that we'll get into, and a few other shows, Shield Hero, Attack on Titan. We'll skip Carol and Tuesday this week. But yeah, let's get right into the beer this week. Rolando chose Golden Road Brewing Spicy Mango Cart.
Yeah.
Have you had this before?
I haven't, but do you remember we were having a conversation before about how on the Untapped podcast they had mentioned making a michelada with the Golden Road Mango Cart, and I was like, oh, that sounds like a really good idea. And apparently Golden Road thought that was a good idea as well, because now they have the spicy mango cart, which
They have a michelada one too, though.
yeah,
It's,
Yeah, they do have a
It's
michelada.
like partnered with like Jalisco Brewing or something, and
Yeah.
they have like an actual michelada one. I've had that one. I have not had
good?
this.
I have not had that one.
Does
It's
it taste
okay.
like a michelada?
Probably not.
It's got like a little bit of spice, but not really. I don't know. I feel like, and this might be like blasphemous for me to say because, as a Hispanic person, that's just like, in your blood. It's like, that's like saying you don't like, burritos or you don't like salsa. You're like, I'm not a big fan of micheladas. I don't know why.
By the way, Mark, did you ever send me that file?
I did send it to you.
Where?
I sent it to you in Discord.
All right, I'll pull it.
All right,
Okay.
take a look at that.
no, I don't want that.
Nice.
It's got a kind of hazy wheat ale, kind of opaqueness to it, and that head is nice and
No menu. this
fresh.
time.
Look at that, very white.
Pretty. Mine has
Very pretty.
none.
Oh, you're drinking something
Yeah.
different. Sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
mention that. What are
I'm
you
drinking the
my
Waldo.
guy?
The Waldos.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
I picked one up before the weekend, and I have a I actually have a Zumbar chocolate coffee stout, my favorite of all beers. And I was gonna do that, but I figured doing something I haven't had makes more sense for our podcast. So especially something that you all have had so far, and now I'm like,
Not me.
oh, you haven't. Oh, well, I'm the third of the four legs.
Oh
Yeah.
man, Rolando, you need to go get a pack of that. It's good.
A Paccarino of the 11.7% 12
It's
pack.
good.
A little
man.
too much. For
That's
me.
and I was like thinking about it again because I told my brother and he was like, "Oh, dude, I need to go out and buy some," and I was like, "I can't believe that it's only like $11 for a 6-pack of an 11.7% beer. That's outrageous." And then again, I looked at the liquor store and there's grapefruit sculpin for $14. Like, it's man, it's just kind of laughable.
Yeah.
I don't know. You need to go try it, Rolando.
But yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Well, going back to this beer, have you smelled this yet? And you can see the
Did.
head has definitely dissipated already.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting that to happen pretty quick. I was actually surprised that it had like such a thick head at the beginning. But yeah, I had a little sip and
Smell
man,
it
that
right now.
really, huh?
A little smellerino.
Yeah,
It was very, very mango.
super mango. It just smells like a mango peel. And you know what it smells like? It smells like dried mangoes.
Yeah.
That's what it smells like. Which I love dried mangoes. I could eat like a whole bag of those.
Oh, that's spicy. Oh, that's like right in the back of my throat.
Oh, yeah. Right there.
Right there.
Oh man. It's like eating a mango that's just like coated in like chili powder.
Alec, I can't hear you for some reason.
Yeah. Ugh. Wow.
Can you reconnect to source, Alec?
Not getting anything from you, Alec.
Not getting anything. Getting anything.
Oh, it's Alec's turn to have problems now.
Whoever is hosting the stream gets the audio issues.
Just destined to fail audio wise.
But
I
yeah,
actually didn't send him the menu. I just sent him a.
you sent him a virus.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
The stream is picking up. Can you hear me?
Well, I
Yeah,
still
I can
can't
hear
hear you.
Okay.
So can you
I'm gonna
rejoin
reconnect,
source?
Yeah. Wait, is there a way to just refresh source? Oh, fuck it. I'll just rejoin. Bear with us. Technical difficulties. Okay.
Spicy, like where that makes you cough.
Can you hear
not
me
like
now?
a.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Cool.
It's just like a chili powder spicy. I don't know. It just kind of makes your mouth warm.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it's like the back of your throat, and then like the tip of your tongue.
Mushroom poppy.
Yeah, just that in the back there.
Yeah, right in the back there.
But yeah, it's sweet. It's spicy. It's
is
definitely not
interesting.
how I expected it to be.
No. Same here. I was kind of expecting like a sweeter mango flavor, and then with almost like what's that red it's got like some spice. It's like a red sauce. I'm like blanking on the name of it right now. I have some in my pantry.
Are you talking about
That like you put on like fruits that like it's like a Mexican
the
good lord. I can't believe
Alec,
I'm-
you know
I'm-
what this thing is, right? What are you
I,
saying? The red spice that you put on like mangoes and shit.
Tajin, that one?
Yeah.
Or
Tahini.
no, not
Lucas?
tahine. Not tahine. That's like a powdery stuff.
what do
I mean-
you like Tabasco?
Some people do
Cholula?
put Tabasco. Like, I don't know what do you
Tabasco. No, I would never put Tabasco on on fruit.
Really? It's delicious.
No.
It's pretty
On
good
mango,
mangoes.
it is really good. I
I'm
don't
not
know.
a big fan of Tabasco.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was
Well,
also
Mark-
trying to get the little sign back up correctly, so I was not quite listening, to be entirely honest. But yeah, here, let me sip mine
Yeah.
while Mark does that.
Well, why don't you talk about the Waldo while Mark figures
Well,
out what Mexican spice he's looking
I
for?
was reading
It's gonna
about
drive
it,
me insane.
and this beer started 420. Did you guys know that? This beer
Yeah.
started
Yeah.
420. Yeah, just all alone,
Yeah.
just this beer.
Yeah, that it
Yeah.
started it like
Yeah,
in
that-
the
yeah, yeah.
90s.
Yeah, in the 90s.
It did.
No,
Oh, well,
actually, it was like in the
smells really-
70s.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's-
in the 70s.
70s?
They were
Yeah.
looking for Waldo, and they just
Yeah.
420
And Waldo brewed the beer and said 420 bitches.
Yeah, he
and
was
then
like, he brewed beer
that's-
every day at 420. He started at 420 and ended at 420. He was the most amazing brewer ever because he could brew in a minute. It was insane.
In a minute.
Yeah,
within a minute,
it
59
smells
seconds.
really good. It has a pretty head color though, and the color of it is nice. But let's see, because it is a really high IBU, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if I'm gonna dislike it, but here we go.
Wasn't it like 79 or something like that?
I'm trying to see.
79? 69?
It doesn't say on here, but
It's on there if you look on the website.
all right. Well, let's see.
What is it about Alex IBU rating? How bitter
Chamoy.
is it?
That's what it is.
Chamoy.
Chamoy. That's what it.
Mm.
I knew it started. I knew it had a ch in it.
Why didn't you
God, I
just
can't
Why
believe
didn't
it.
you just go to your kitchen and pull it out?
That takes so much work to go over there, man.
It's pretty good. It's got good taste. It's hoppy. It's not as like bitter as I expected. It's also not as dank as I expected. I tasted one this weekend actually. I went to a brewery near me that has a lot of IPAs, and I tasted one, and that thing was it was dank. Like you smell it, and it's like, did they just put weed in this cup? Like it smells like that. But this is it's pretty good. Out of 10 on the Alec IBU scale, I give it like a 7.5 though. It's still got some bitterness to it, but it's not the Mission, which was
The double IPA.
unbearable for me. Yeah.
What was that? An 11 for you?
I don't even know. I couldn't taste anything other than bitter. It just
That was like biting
and I
and
was like,
just hops.
and I have done that, and it was a little less bad than that. Like, I took a class in college, and he passed around hops. He's like, "Oh, smell it, smell it." He's like, "If you want and you're brave, you can taste it." I was like, "All right." I took like one leaf, and I was like, "Ugh!" And it was just the worst thing. It's the bitterness stayed on my tongue for like half an hour. It was absolutely miserable.
Ugh.
But yeah,
That's
not
great.
bad. It's got good taste. I think it would take getting acquainted with it for me. It's gonna like my palate is definitely like I don't know about this, bro, but it has good flavor and it's got good smell. So thumbs up.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like if it's like Alec approved, or at least he somewhat of approves it, then that means it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's
It's
not-
the
it's
worst.
not that
Good,
bitter.
pretty
This-
drinkable
yeah.
for like anybody.
Yeah, it's on my scale. It's very near like the edge of like I can't drink it. It's literally like touching there, but
Which means
it's bearable.
on Drew's scale, it's like a 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
That's,
not.
like,
It's
not
not
even
bitter at
hitting
all.
half,
Yeah, I can't taste the.
Oh, this
the
is
bitterness
sweet.
at all.
It tastes like fruit. It's like what? What about the hops? I don't taste hops at all. I don't know what you're talking.
Yeah, if you had tried the one from the previous year, I think you definitely wouldn't have liked that one, because that one to me it was a lot hoppier. It was definitely way
Way more
bitter
bitter.
than this one is.
Oh, excuse me. I'm curious
Or at
what
least
hops
this year.
are
Is it like well, I always compare like really hoppy beers to like Pliny, but like is it like Pliny the Younger,
Yeah, it was similar to that,
where it's just like
which
literally just hops?
yeah,
essentially.
What was
Yeah.
the one years ago, Mark, that we had at your place? Was it Pliny the Elder or Pliny the Younger? And you had that bottle.
They only bottle Elder, I believe.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
then
the elder.
we had Pliny the Elder, and I remember that one's an IPA, right?
Is it classified
no.
as an IPA?
Or is it a pale
It's
ale?
It's a
I
strong
think
ale?
it's technically a pale ale.
Google.
I had some this weekend. I should know this.
It's really good. One of my favorite beers.
Pliny the
It was
Elder
really
is
good.
an
Well,
American
that was
Imperial
actually-
IPA style beer brewed by Russian River. That's what it says.
Imperial. Oh, okay. It was actually my brother's first time trying Pliny the Elder.
Really? What do you think?
Yeah. He was like, "Man, this is pretty good." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, there's a lot of hype around it." I was like, "It's good. It's not like amazing as people are like really hyping it up to be, but it's really good.
As
it's
the
still
best
a really
beer they've
solid
ever
beer.
had in their entire life.
Part of the hype
Yeah.
is just the availability of it. So it's like it's
have
best
to
within
go.
like the first couple of weeks of bottling. And so if it's on tap somewhere, then like that's a fresh keg.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I was really kind of bummed out because we only went to go. Sorry, this is like a total aside. Sorry, like we're getting way off track. But we went to Tornado in San Diego, and they had a heady topper from the Alchemist. They had cans there, and I wanted to buy some cans to go because I was like, oh, I'm only gonna have one drink just to celebrate my brother's birthday, and then I gotta drive home. Like, we're just gonna hang out, and then I gotta drive. So then, like, I'm finishing up, about to pay, and they're like, "Oh yeah, sorry, we can't sell any to go." I was like, "No, dang it! I should have tried it like When's the next time they're gonna? I was like, when's the next time you guys are gonna get it? And they're like, oh, we have no idea. Like the last time we got it was like 4 months ago.
Oh,
and I was
shit.
like, oh, fuck. So I told my brother, I was like, you gotta come back and try it. And he's like, all right, I'll do it next weekend. I was like, yes.
He's like, all right, I'll do that right now.
Like, okay.
He's like, yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
let me
cool.
try
I'm gonna
it
go. I'll catch an Uber home
I'll
later.
get an Uber home. Yeah, I'll come pick my car up later.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So hopefully he tries it and he'll let me know how it is.
According to Lagunitas website, this is 100 plus IBU.
Oh, one. Okay, sorry.
Is what it's listed
Not
at.
70.
Which I don't understand. Why do they say 100 plus when it's supposed to only go to 100?
Well,
Sometimes you can go over. You put in that 110%, dude.
Yeah. I got you. All right.
It's that extreme.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get back to this. Let's get back to this spicy mango cart.
Get to the spicy mango. I wanna
Rolando,
hear more.
final thoughts and then rating.
All right.
What are you thinking?
Well, this is definitely not what I thought this beer was going to be like. I thought it was going to be like more of just like the kind of adding, those Mexican spices and to it, making it kind of like more of a flavorful spicy. You know what I'm saying? Like this one's more of just a heat.
It's more of a
But
spice.
Yeah, it's just like you just feel heat.
Cayenne pepper, basically.
Yeah.
But cayenne pepper is delicious.
But
Mark.
I think the thing about this though is so
Not
the
as good
mango
as
cart
chili
is already a sweet beer, and this kind of just puts like a contrast to it. It's not exactly like you're changing the formula to it. It's just adding a layer to the finish. So rather than finishing that kind of malty or no, not malt, that weedy kind of sweet finish that this beer normally has, you get like a kind of it becomes drier
I like Wheaties.
because like you get the sweet and then it's dry, like spicy.
Yeah.
So I think this is actually a pretty cool beer. This isn't something I'm gonna like go drink a bunch of because like it's really hot. Like the spice is like intense. But I think this is like one of those beers that every once in a while you can be like, like I want something that's kind of like surprisingly refreshing.
But also
But
surprisingly spicy.
it's surprisingly spicy.
I want some heat in my life.
I want some
Yeah.
kick in my
So it's
mouth.
like if you remember the Rogue Sriracha Stout that we had,
I did not try, now I want to try it after tasting this.
that one was similar, where like it was a stout, but it had like kind of heat to it. It was spicy.
It's like eating Tabasco chocolate.
Yeah, like
It's
a
like
like a
that.
spicy chocolate.
Yeah.
That's all
This
good.
is similar to that, but yeah, it's just spicy is all I can say. So I actually would give this maybe like a, mango cart normally is like a 3.5, so I'd give this a 3.5. It does not make it any worse for me, but it doesn't make it better.
Yeah.
Just different.
It's just different.
It's different. Yeah, I agree. Like it's like you said, the mango cart is sweet. This is just like you putting like chili powder and mixing it up in a mango cart. Like that's just literally like what it tastes like. It's just like a hot, powdery, spicy. I was totally expecting something different, but I mean, like I said, like they have the they already have a different, style of it. So I'm assuming that they wanted to kind of just stray away from, from what they've already established. I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, it's good. It's like very sweet, very tasty. And I don't know if it's just like making me thirstier. But it's like
gets you
I
to
want to
drink
drink
more.
this. Yeah, like I want to drink this fast, and maybe it's because I want to like get rid of it, or it's just like I'm just like, man, like I'm really thirsty.
You're like, God, I just don't want this.
like man, I don't know. Like I want something like refreshing, like want something more refreshing. Like now I want like some watermelon or something. Like I wish it was like this summer where I'm down at the beach. I don't know. I almost feel like the michelada one was like a little bit better.
But that's a more flavorful spicy.
But right, exactly. And I think that's what's like throwing me off.
How
is that
would
it has
this
a little
be
bit of a different, spicier flavor.
If you
I'm not
actually
putting this in a
mixed it
michelada.
with michelada stuff.
I am not gonna do that.
No,
Try
I
it.
wouldn't do that either.
Try it.
No.
Try it.
You know what?
Try
Maybe
it.
if you mix this with like Lucas and like or something, and like not like the spicier parts, but just have like some of that like peppery, like sweet and
The
spicy.
lemony.
Tamarind.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
lemon. Yeah. Now we're onto something.
Let's try it. Save a couple. Next time we're together.
We're gonna make some like Frankenstein cocktail. Like it's gonna turn out horribly. I can already see it happening.
Oh, I could see it being so good though too. You never know. That's how we end up
That's
with new
true. You never
beers.
know. You never know. You never know.
We email them, hey, by the way, you should try this. They try it. They're like, holy
Yeah.
shit, we're gonna sell
you
it
should
like
try
this.
this.
They're like, wow,
And
we're
we're not
making a
gonna
new
credit
one.
you.
Right? Yeah, none. They're like, they'll
They're
call
like,
it the
no.
fans mango cart or something like that.
Or they're just gonna be like, no, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, they're like, no, we're not doing that. One guy will try it and he'll be like, wow, they were onto something, but nah.
But this isn't marketable.
Yeah, no, it's like
Yeah,
no
exactly.
one's gonna want to drink this. We will not
we
sell
can't
any.
sell this. Like,
You literally
Get
have
outta
to
here.
try it to believe it's good. And if you hear about it, you're like, this is disgusting.
we'll see. We'll get an update. Maybe
Yeah, yeah.
later in the summer. Let's do that. Let's wait till it's like a little hot.
Right,
Where like
yeah.
we want
You wanna
cool
sweat?
down a little
It's
bit
already
afterwards.
hot.
Yeah, we want
It's
to
already
sweat.
hot. It was
There you
92
go.
today.
Yeah,
for
but
me.
you live in Vegas.
Yeah, that's true. So okay.
Disgusting. Well, I will give this a 3.25. That is my final score.
Oh, I will
Yeah,
give
all right.
this the Waldos. I was leaning like 3.75. I think it's pretty good. It's got good flavor. So it's just, on the bitter end, so I can't give it much higher. Maybe 3.5 because it is pretty bitter, but I think that's not giving it the justice it deserves. I'd say 3.75 is a good solid average baseline.
Nice.
Can't break
Right on.
4 for me though. It's hard to break 4 as an IPA in my
You
world.
gave one. You gave one
You
IPA.
gave an
for-
IPA for.
You
It's
did.
Yeah.
just hard
But
for
it-
me to do it. It's gonna be rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one it was.
I think
but
it
I know
was
you did.
the. It was. Was it the 21st Amendment?
Was it?
No,
Was
no,
it
no.
Swami's?
It wasn't Swami's.
Swami's,
It
I
was
think,
pretty
got a
recently.
3.75 too, actually.
There was a beer that you're just like, this is really drinkable.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
that
before.
IPA. Yeah, I don't remember which one it is, but I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, that one was good. That one was good.
Can we get Devin? Can we get a
Devin, can we get a fact check?
on that?
I don't know.
Can we get a fact check? Oh, fucking Devin.
God damn it. Piece of shit.
Well, that's good. 3.75 for Malik. That's pretty solid for an IPA. I'll give it that. That's a pass.
It's a pass. It's a thumbs
Nice.
up. Thumbs up for
Cool.
me, guys.
Thumbs up.
Nice.
Right on. So let's move on to our pairing for this week.
This
Pairing
week.
for this week. We have on here we haven't done like an actual pairing for this season. So this is a big one. So we have Sarazan Mai. There's a lot to talk about. Last week we were like hit with like a pretty
The feels.
heavy episode. Yeah, there was a lot of feels in last week, and this week again, like it just delivers. There's just so much going on in this series that, like, from like 2 minutes on, and like I just don't know how to feel. Like I feel bad, and then like 10 minutes later, I'm like, damn, like this is really heavy. I just kind of hate Kazuki for a second.
You know
and then,
what?
like another 10 minutes goes by at the end of the show, and I'm like, dude, I'm just torn apart.
You know what? That's just how these these shows go. And I guess I'll be Drew this week and be like, this is the kind of stuff that Ikuhara does. And it kind of made me, after watching this episode this week, it kind of made me think like, man, it would be cool to watch on our Orishiri segment in one of the coming up ones if we watched Penguin Drum or like Yuri Kumarashi or something, one of his last couple of shows, because like I forgot how like this is like this show, like the way it plays out and like kind of how the characters are kind of portrayed, it reminds me a lot of what made me really like Penguin Drum.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, like it would be interesting to
down.
watch one of those shows like in a later Orishiri.
Yeah, I think we should. I mean, I like the show. I like that it's kind of unexpected at times. Like I can't. I mean, like sometimes I kind of know like where the story's gonna go with some of the characters, but it just throws in like this whole other element, like the fact that like Kazuki is responsible for his brother like his accident. Like in the back of my mind, I kind of figured that was kind of I had a reason, or I thought that was the reason why he felt like he hated Haruka. I was like, maybe he feels responsible, or maybe he feels like he can't really live with himself. Like he has a lot of regret, which is kind of what happened. But I wasn't expecting it to play out like he almost got isekai'd, and then then he really was like, fuck, like his entire life changed. I mean, the whole family did. But then they have the element with like the fact that he's like adopted, and I was not expecting at all. So that was like a whole nother element to the story that just completely like I was just torn for the whole episode.
Yeah, and they didn't explicitly say it, but some of the Reddit detectives, aka the people that read the novels, said that what they didn't show
I'll be right back.
was that Kazuki is actually the son of his current adopted father's older brother. So like his current adopted father is actually his uncle. So like technically he's still related
His
to
family.
Like it's his family, like still like within his immediate family. But
I see.
like Haruka's technically his cousin, and his adopted father is technically his uncle.
Darth
His
Vader.
uncle.
Yeah.
I see. That's interesting. That's an interesting connection. I don't know if that's like how relevant that is to the story, so I can
Yeah.
kind of see them leaving that out.
Yeah, it's not like something that you like.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to know this. But
If that like if his father was like actually the father, and like just had like another woman, and so that would have been different.
Yeah.
'Cause that's something I would have wanted to know. But if it's like, oh, that's like just an uncle or kind of distant relative, then it's like, oh, I mean, yeah, that's cool. Like that's nice that they're related, so there's some kind of connection there.
Yeah, I think it clears things up a little bit, because I did actually
Yeah.
think that maybe it was like at first I thought, because like he looks like he's related to the father, but that's just because it's his uncle. So I thought like, oh, is this like just another, like the guy's second wife? But no,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
actually
yeah.
just his aunt. And so that's what confused me a little bit, but I got some clarification afterwards. But like
Yeah.
either way, I think it's still like it doesn't detract from the fact that Kazuki kind of feels like his whole relationship with his family is like the main crux of this episode. It's a sham, it's a fraud. Like
Right.
that's like kind of this week's wordplay. So Sashu, or a sachet, how they
Sachet.
so how they kind of spell it in Japanese is similar to how the Japanese word sashu, which just means like a fraud. And
Would
so
that be the Romanji version, and like Sashu is how it's spelled?
yeah, so like sashu in katakana would mean a sachet.
Okay.
And then sashu in kanji and hiragana would be a fraud or a swindle or something similar to those.
Interesting.
So yeah, like it's all just part of Kazuki, because like he is
Yeah,
being
yeah.
a fraud and a swindle, but like that's also kind of how he views his relationship with his familial relationship. He views as kind of like a fraud as well.
Yeah. That's interesting. And that's something that like we've known since episode 2, when he reveals that like he's cross dressing or cross playing in order to
Crossplay.
He's cross-playing. That's what he's doing, right? Isn't that what he's doing? He's pretending to be Sada. What's that? He's not just cross-playing just for fun. I mean,
Could be for fun.
but we know this like early on. We know this about his character, and like he is, trying to be somebody that he's not, and faking another character in order to please and make his little brother happy. And that's something that like, we know for at least a couple episodes, but like for the fact that like that it's revealed now, along with the inner workings of his family, like where he comes from, the fact that he feels, or why he feels, so out of place with his family, I think that's really big. And I think that, that's what what kind of holds this episode together. And then you have something in here too about the desire, the guy with the desire. So that's like another thing that is also like a play on words too, right? So the criminal.
The criminal guy, the guy whose desire was extracted, his name is Nioi no Fukuro, which just translates literally to like an aromatic bag, aka a sachet. Like that's what a sachet is. So that's like it's cool that they're adding a bunch of layers on like kind of this symbolism wordplay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something we talked about last week too. Is that there's so many layers to this show that I really wish I could understand more, about the language, because when you read it in subtitles, like I can tell that at times there's like some things that don't really come across correctly.
Yeah,
because it just sounds kind of weird. But when I'll go back and like play things like with the detectives, like when they're talking, I can tell that they're like using like very similar sounding words that like, kind of denotes like a rhyme, but it's also like double meanings. But that doesn't come across in like the subtitles.
Yeah, sometimes they just like literally will just translate it, and there are sometimes they will kind of try and colloquialize it, and it tends to piss off viewers when they do that, because they're like, that's not what he said. But it's like they're trying to encapsulate the meaning of like the overall meaning when they do that kind of stuff. So that's why I'm just like, but that's what like the meaning they're trying to get across. Like it's hard to get like Japanese word puns into like translated for other languages. Like it like every language has its own different kind of colloquialisms and like puns and that kind of stuff. So
because things could mean a word could mean two different things, and that's something that's hard to get across in subtitles or when you're translating something.
And it's not just Japanese to English. It's like if a Japanese person was watching an English show with subtitles, they wouldn't get some of the shit that that's like said in English that has like another meaning. That kind of
right. That's very true.
But yeah,
it's tough, man.
It's tough. Like, this is kind of an aside, but in the Crunchyroll subs for is it Hitori Bochi? They in their most recent episode, there was like a big play on, because they were doing haikus, and then they were doing a lot of plays with Nako, her character, because her character was like failing her test in math or something, and then they're making fun of her, not making fun of her, but they're being like, oh, you got a 29 even though you're a 75, but like that's like a Japanese play on words, because like 7 and 5 could be read as Nako, just
I see.
It's like it requires a knowledge of Japanese, but the way they translated it is like
that's like really,
but you're
like,
a 7.5, like that's like they literally just put it in there, so it's just like people aren't really gonna like that. That's like a literal way of translating the pun,
translating it, like,
and people are like, what, like you're a 7.5? You're like,
that's kind of weird. That just seems like such a like simple, like dumb joke.
Yeah,
that just doesn't come across in like a literal English translation.
It's supposed to be just a dumb pun, but
that's like a dad joke right there.
That's essentially a dad joke, and that show is just honestly like just, oh my god, It makes you
shows-
it makes you want to rip your hair out sometimes because like
That show, I started watching it. I got about 3 episodes in. It's an interesting show. It's funny at points, and it's
and
also
it's
very
also very
aggravating. at points.
aggravating because the characters you just want to be like, why are you like this? Like
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like, oh, just stop.
now it's like I always wondered why people had an issue with like Moe's slice of life shit, and it's just like watching this show I'm just like, God, this is why people fucking hate it. And
Yeah.
there's just like some stuff that's like really aggravating with how the characters act, and it's just like, why do you act this way? Like
That's exactly it. It's
Why
like,
you do
why are you acting this way? Just stop.
Why are
Just
you the way
act-
that you are?
just- Why do you do the things you do?
exactly. But that's an aside.
Yeah, complete aside. Yeah, no, I actually want to keep up and continue watching Hitori Bochi. It's got funny parts, definitely. But yeah, we
yeah.
can talk about that. If I catch up, we'll talk about it again later. So yeah, back to Sarazanmai. The last thing that you have on here is the location. So this was actually like where I hate that you wrote this because I just keep laughing at it. Where Haruka gets hit by the car, that intersection where he almost gets
Also got
isekai'd. It wasn't Truck-kun though. So
Yeah, that's why.
he was safe.
The truck. If it
wasn't
was
safe,
if it
but
was
he-
Truck-kun, then he would have gotten isekai. But because it was just
Yeah.
Car-chan.
Yeah. This is terrible. Laughing about a little boy getting hit
Getting
by,
hit by
a
a
car.
car.
That's horrible, man. It's so terrible. But it's like, yeah. Anyway, so the location is in Asakusa. It's right next to the Azuma Bridge, right? And,
Yeah.
the right next to the Asahi Beer Hall, and that was like where we went in our first night when we flew into Tokyo. And I actually have a picture of like right around the corner from that of the river. And I was like, I went back and looked at my picture and I have it up on Instagram, and I was like, you can't really see it, but yeah, it's literally like right around the corner,
Yeah.
like right on the edge of the river.
The picture that I put in here was just so if you can pull up the Google image that's in here.
Yeah,
the-
you had to request access.
In the Google Drive?
It says where Haruka almost
Yeah.
gets isekai'd.
Let me find it.
That's what it's called.
Let me find it. I have to watch my computer so we don't skip frames.
Poor
Is it-
Haruka, dude. He was so close to
He
becoming
was-
an
he was
isekai
close.
protagonist.
Wait, where is it? I don't see it.
It's in the script. It's called where
Oh,
Haruka
in the
almost gets.
script. Okay, sorry. I have that on a different computer. Let me
Oh,
pull
it's
it.
in the computer.
It's in the shut the fuck
Oh.
up. Where Haruka almost gets isekai.
But I put an image in there from my phone from
That you
night
took?
that I took.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's from just north of where that spot is.
I wonder if that's like the same location. Is that like with the
With the
cherry
sakura
blossoms and like
trees,
the pink lights are there?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It was
Yeah.
like the same picture. Because we
was
like
right by-
stopped off to the side.
Yeah, it was right by that A6 building that shows up
I need
in the
permission.
image.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Permission?
Hang on.
Let me
Oh,
see if
I'm
I can-
signed into the wrong account, but I don't want to sign in while we're on stream and like accidentally have like shit pop up and passwords and whatnot.
Hold on. Let me let me link this to you.
Yeah, yeah.
This one.
Okay, there we go.
there
Just
we
look
go,
at Mark's.
focus.
Look at Mark's
Yeah,
image.
look at
That's the same
Yeah.
tree that I took a picture of.
It's somewhere. It's not focusing. But yeah, yeah. It's
Hey.
like same
Yeah, yeah.
near the same location.
All right. We got it. We got it, guys. We got it.
You got it?
Yeah. No, I didn't get it, but
Oh.
we found it. Yeah.
But yeah.
Give me permission.
How do you not have permission? I
There we go.
linked the shareable
There we
link
go.
to it.
Now I have permission.
But it's cool though. It's like we mentioned this, like the fact that they're bringing in like real life locations and they're places that people are like can easily recognize. It's kind of cool. It's an interesting aspect, especially like the ED, which is absolute fire. It's such a good ED.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's by the
Um,
Peggies.
By the Peggies, dude. I mean, Peggies are great.
They did another fire song,
There.
Kimi
I
no Se.
pulled it up.
Yeah.
It's the whole screen. Everyone can see the tree now. Now I'm gonna take it away.
But yeah, that's
And I'm taking it away.
if you pull up the Google image, did you already pull that one up?
Yeah, the one that you
The on the corner.
On the corner.
It's a 3D view of the corner
Like the street corner.
Yeah.
Where's the Google image?
where
Where we
Haruka
hung
almost
out
gets
every night.
isekai'd.
Oh, that brought me to.
Click on that. It's a Reddit link.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then the location in real life, that one.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Golden
All
Poop
right,
Building.
I see it. Okay.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah, there's that golden
that golden
little
poop thing on
cloud poop thing
is
up
what
there.
Drew called it. The golden poop. So yeah. So if you see there's that golden building, that's where the Asahi building is, and then that's actually just a view of that corner where he almost gets isekai'd right there. And then if you just walk up that footbridge to the left, that's where the phone images that Mark and I took are from.
Yeah. That Azuma Bridge, is that the bridge that they're always fighting on? Or it's a different bridge that they're on, right?
No, that's the one.
That's the one?
Yeah.
Azumabashi, yeah. It's a cool spot. I actually really liked Asakusa. It was pretty mellow. A lot of stuff to do there. A lot of history there. Very picturesque because it's right on the river.
Yeah, it was
really cool.
That place is really quiet for the most part, but then it's not quiet like if you're by the bars and restaurants and stuff. Like you'll still see drunk salarymen passed out on the street. But like it's still like a cool place. I think we should go the next time and bring Alec there and then get that ramen that we didn't get to eat.
Ramen.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, we need to go back. Because then also like the gate, what is it? I mean, pull it over here. The Hozomon gate is like down the street from there, and that was really cool.
Yep.
Cool
and then
spot.
that temple we went to, was it something? There is a temple where Mark got his fortune.
Temple?
Mark got pulled his fortune and he got bad luck.
Nice.
The Sensoji.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sensoji. Mark
Yeah,
pulled his
I
fortune there, got bad luck.
Bad luck.
That
That
was
said
bad
not
juju
to
for the
go
trip.
on a boat, so we didn't go on any boats.
No, we went on a boat at Tokyo Disney Sea,
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
and
We saw Summer Elsa.
that's where we saw Summer Elsa. Yeah.
I forgot what the deal was with that, but something happened at Disney Sea that we're just like, God damn it, we got on a boat with Mark and it was
Somebody forgot something.
like something happened and the fucking bad fortunes were.
At least that was the extent of the bad fortune, though. That was nothing serious happened. It's like somebody just forgot something on the boat or something like that. I don't remember.
Anyways, yeah. So that's Sarazanmai. We could go into a lengthy discussion on this show, but like, there's too much.
There's a lot to talk about. It's a good show. So if you're not watching it, I definitely think it's worth checking out. It's weird. That was like the first thing that we said about it, is that it's a weird show, but it's got a lot going on. So yeah, with that, let's move into our Orashiri segment. So this is where we cover some older shows and just kind of revisit them and talk about them. The first one that we have is Death Parade. This is we watched episode 5, the Death March. This was kind of a weirder episode just because there was a lot of exposition and not so much focus on the games and like the guests, the people who were being judged. So yeah, like I guess spoiler alert if anybody's never seen it. But this was there was a lot of plot that was like kind of advanced and given away and hinted at in this episode. Yeah, I mean, like I don't know where to start. There was a lot that happened with the unnamed girl. We finally, get a look into who she is and what her purpose is there. Mm-hmm. I don't know. What were your guys' thoughts on the fact that Dekim couldn't decide what to do with her? Do you think it's more of an experiment? Do you think that she has potential to stay there? I don't know, indefinitely, or do you think that she is still being judged? I don't know. I mean, like, what do you guys think about the end name girl at this point?
I mean, they
Alec?
did say they're extending her judgment period, so it kind of seems like it's a mixture of things. He's keeping her around because she's helpful to him, and I think the manager lets him keep her around because he kind of sees it as like an opportunity to him, an opportunity for him to learn from her. Because even he said like he has a long way to go. They both do, and so it's kind of like a symbiotic relationship. They can learn from each other, and then he gets to just be fascinated by this kind of enigma, somebody who's never remembered or who's remembered that they died when that's never happened before. And so it's just kind of interesting. Or maybe she will end up becoming, maybe she's God, because there was that scene where it was like God left a long time ago. She's
left.
God. I do have to say one thing. When that scene showed up where they were playing pool, the first thing I thought of was, yo mama's so fat she plays pool with the planets. And that's all I could think of.
I think it's
But-
supposed to be a reference to because there was like a kind of one shot animation called Death Billiards. I haven't seen it, but I think it's supposed to be like a reference to that, where it's basically it's Death March, but with sorry, Death Parade, but with but with
Pool.
but Pool was the game that they played. But
Just a
yeah,
throwback.
I think the main thing is so Decim seems like a lot of the characters don't view him as like having very solid judgment. It's probably just how he gets to his judgments. And I feel like this is something that like Nona is like a huge
Testing?
catalyst in, where she was probably like, well, like we can pass judgment on her like in a different way by testing her, or that kind of deal, where she's going to be your assistant and we'll see how you pass judgment. Is like, this is probably like overall a test still for him, I'm gonna guess, as an
Yeah.
arbiter or arbitrator, whatever you call those guys.
Guy who
Arbitrator.
judges
Yeah.
dead people.
Yeah. And no, I think so too. I think that she is. I think there's a lot of factors that are going into, like, she's also being judged while helping Decim, who is kind of going through this testing period, as well as like just the facility as a whole, because they're still trying to. It seemed like they're still trying to like come up with ways to like truly judge people and find out like the best methods in order to judge these people who are in this kind of in between like period or place, I should say. So yeah, it's definitely interesting that we get more of her backstory. We still don't have a name for her, but we also get like a look into the story that was kind of brought up in the first episode, like at the very end of that first episode, the Chavotl or
Chavo or whatever.
Chavo. And yeah, I don't know what to make of that and why she's dreaming about that. Do you guys have any ideas, any thoughts on that? That didn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
I'm with you on that one. I got nothing.
My inclination is that so the initial thought that I had was she possibly wrote the book or the story or something like that. But
Yeah.
we do see that Nona is reading it, and so what kind of confuses me is like, this is something that Nona's reading, and so like, if my initial thoughts that she wrote this book in her actual life are true, then like, what does that have to imply with everything? But at the same time, like, if there's like the possibility that you say like, oh, maybe she's the god that has been gone for a while, or that kind of deal. Like, maybe she had gone to Earth or like gone down to the human plane of existence and like lived out
Yeah.
life and came with full memories, and kind of essentially having a fulfilled life. So it's like they can't really pass judgment on her, and so
Yeah.
like she's probably viewed as enlightened. So like maybe she is sort of like a somewhat of a Buddha-esque type of character.
I feel like that would make sense if she was this like kind of enlightened person that still ended up in this place. Maybe that could tie into like the whole spider's thread type of thing. Because if she is, this enlightened person, then therefore she could be that person who could, give people the chance to pull themselves out
Pull
of,
themselves out,
hell.
yeah.
Or like, so in the episode, who mentions it? I forget. Was it Nona or what is it? The guy's name? One of the characters mentions the spider's thread.
It was Deccan.
It was Deccan.
Yeah.
So Deccan mentions the spider's thread, like story, which is, if you're not familiar with it, Buddha is kind of walking past, or he's looking down at hell and sees this person who has done at least like one good thing in their life, which was save a spider as they were walking through the woods. So therefore he passes down a single spider's thread, and offers it to this man, and the man takes the chance, starts climbing up, and looks down and sees other people climbing up. So he tells these people to get off or it's going to break. And then at that moment, the spider's thread breaks. And then I think that the unnamed woman maybe, be kind of like an implication of like, Buddha offering this kind of escape for some people. Or
see that.
maybe she's the person who is being offered the thread. I don't know. Maybe somebody is offering her like a chance to escape, kind of unknowingly. I don't know. I'm like pulling at strings here.
Oh, you're pulling at strings here.
Oh, he's pulling at
Oh.
strings.
I don't know. I think that whole story was also pretty interesting, especially because of the people that we get into Quinn Deckham, because they're offered like a second chance basically to be reincarnated or just kind of go to the void.
Yeah.
So I was actually watching this while you guys were talking about Sarazanmai, because I forgot we were on episode 5 and not episode 4. And so when they get to the scene where like the little droplets are like falling from the ceiling and going into the cups, it's supposed to be like dying people. The girl in the chair says Quinn's test. Who is Quinn? Do we know, or is that just a name? Deckham is Quinn.
I thought the place was called Quinn Deckham.
Oh, I thought the place was called Quinn Deckham.
Yeah.
I actually got to it like right before we started, and she says, "Quinn's test, right?" ? And I'm like, who's Quinn? So I noticed it, and I was wondering.
Quinn Deckham. Maybe that's his full name.
Maybe
Is it
somebody
his
else.
full name?
I always thought he
Was just Deckham.
says like this is Quinn Deckham. I thought that's how he always said
The place.
The place
maybe.
was, yeah.
So maybe it's
Yeah,
a test
that's
of
what
the
I thought.
place, but she was saying it to the man. I don't know. But I saw Quinn's test, right? And so it sounded like the name or someone's name. And so I'm curious. It doesn't really ring any bells because I don't know. Quinn.
I'm just gonna assume it's Deckham.
Yeah, maybe it's his.
I don't
full
know.
name. First name, last name. I don't know.
We need Drew.
Yeah, he wouldn't
No,
say.
he'll be
anything.
like, "Oh, I can't say. I without
Yeah.
spoiling anything really significant to you guys. I can't say anything."
He probably would.
The only thing I was thinking of, like, because I didn't see anybody else who didn't have a name, so the only thing I could think of was, is that the nameless girl's name?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But it doesn't make
don't-
any sense because
Yeah, I don't know if that would
Not
really
to
make
me.
She's
sense.
Quinn and he's Deckham.
yeah, and they make Quinn Deckham, but I'm pretty sure it was Quinn Deckham before she
Together
got
as
there.
one.
Together as one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because Deckham's only been there for like 5 years. They said.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure it's probably always been Quinn Deckham.
Quinn
I don't
Deckham.
know.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. This show is good though.
I think.
I like.
Well, Quinn Deckham
yeah.
is just 15, right? In Latin.
Yes, I believe. Or
So,
15 or 50.
Is it 15 or Google?
That I don't know.
Quin decim Latin.
I mean
It's 15.
15.
15?
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. It looks like it's 15. So they're on, maybe it's because he says welcome to 15. So maybe it's just the 15th. Because they were talking about floor managers.
The floor, yeah.
It's just the 15th floor.
15th floor.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Quinn.
But they also mentioned like other towers too. So I was wondering like if the other towers also have to do with other like religions or other worlds.
Yeah. Depending on what religion the person prescribed to, they send them to a different tower. I don't know. They have a lot of like, it seems like there's just a lot of underlying lore and
a lot of
stuff
layers going on. Yeah.
It also doesn't make sense that the other guy was being told the story about the spider's thread when like it's like a very seemingly Buddhist theme throughout the show.
Yeah.
So they're just like, why wouldn't he know? Kind of kind of deal.
I imagine he was from a different floor or something.
Yeah.
different tower.
That was kind of interesting. I wasn't expecting the cool action scenes though. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The action was actually really well done. I like that.
Yeah.
I like the little Orbeez shot out. He
Oh,
got
the
caught by
water
spider
droplets
webs.
or
Yeah, the
whatever.
water
Yeah.
drop.
Oh,
He
yeah.
got caught by his web. That was pretty cool looking.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was neat. But
Yeah.
anyways, caught that.
So yeah,
Wanted to see what
I don't
you guys
know.
thought, so.
Any other thoughts on this episode?
I like the
Anything
show
else?
a lot.
Yeah.
Show's good.
Yeah, this is a good show. So let's move on to our other Oroshiri's show that we are a little uncertain of. At least I am. Bakano, this is episode 5. Last week we gave it another extension. This week I liked very few parts of it of this week.
I wanted to ask, what did you guys say about it last week? Because I wasn't here, and I noticed we gave it an extension because you put it on the thing, and I honestly hadn't watched it.
Last week's episode was good.
It was good.
I just haven't watched 5 yet because yeah.
I mean,
This,
I don't even think I can explain it at this point.
yeah.
Like, after
So 5 has a similar issue with episodes 1 through 3, and there's just things happening, and you're not sure why things are just like this. It's not even like an execution thing. It's just like, why is the story like this? Kind of.
Yeah.
I see.
The problem with this episode was that I was starting to understand like characters, kind of underlying plots somewhat. Like it was still very disjointed with episode 4, but now we have like even more characters and even more like side stories and side plots that
Different motivation.
It makes no sense. I don't understand. Like, I don't know why we're being shown Firo's like initiation, and like I like his character. That's probably like one of few characters that I really like.
Yeah.
But like I don't know why we're showing that. I don't know what is going on with how that dude sucked off that other dude.
You said that in a very suggestive way, but
Yeah, that was on purpose.
I mean,
like no, he literally just like
he just absorbed
that
him,
guy.
Yeah.
No, I said it, that was totally on purpose. He just absorbed some guy. Like
Way to go.
I don't understand some of the stuff that is happening. Like some
Off
of
a
like
guy,
the,
whack a guy, off a guy.
Yeah,
whack
the
off
guy
a guy.
off, dude.
Suck off a
And
guy.
then
Guy off a whack.
Firo and the other dude were like supposed to whack each other off, but they didn't. And it was just all a game. I don't know, man.
I just lost the game.
Fuck. Sorry. Trying to get as many innuendos as I can while we're still watching the show.
I don't know. This like it's like I don't understand. So it's like now we know the ghost or whatever. What is it? Train rider, ghost rider, whatever the fuck. This rail tracer.
Rail tracer.
Yeah.
Yes. There you go.
Such
And we know it's real. There's something.
Yeah, we
out
know
there.
is something, and it's this fucking weird. Like it has something to do with all of this immortality shit.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But it's not like it's targeting like a specific person. It's just killing anybody. Like
I think it's required to absorb other people to keep yourself alive. Is just what my assumption is.
Yeah.
Like you absorb other life force to continue your life force, but what doesn't makes sense to me is like we've got all these old people going like, oh yeah, now we don't have to age anymore. It's like, yeah, but you're old.
Yeah.
Don't you just want to die?
You're already old. You've already lived for hundreds of years.
Don't you
like,
just want to die? Like, come on,
Just-
let's.
Aren't you just tired of
just
watching people
fucking-
die around you?
Yeah, just
Like,
get over it, man.
Yeah, let me keep living with my broken hip and all this like poor back, and it's like, why would you want to live that long
Yeah.
at like age 90? Like, I don't understand.
I said this last week. Like, I really want to like the show. I do. I like some of the things that happened in this show, but when they're starting to introduce like new like gangs, like new phrases, new powers, at this point, it's like there's no explanation for them. It's just introducing them and hoping you're gonna stick along for the ride, and you'll get some kind of explanation later. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe if somebody's out there who like completely just binged the series and was like, yeah, you gotta like watch like you know, groupings of the show at a time in order to like understand things.
But that's not how it aired, though.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like that's not how the show like came out. That's not how we're watching it either, because we're watching it week to week to kind of like, you know, we're understanding how the previous viewers would have watched the show. And to have a show that is so segmented like this, and it's like broken down even further, and there's like new things happening every 2 minutes, I don't know.
Like I said, like last week, if this were a movie, it would be a lot better, or like it would be more beneficial for it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff they can cut out. There's a lot of exposition they can get done within the first 20 minutes of the movie. Like there's just too much, honestly. And because they have 12 episodes or whatever it is, like they're just it's just being dragged out.
Yeah, like the whole that like 5 minutes of Jacuzzi just crying.
Oh my
and
god,
then-
that's why
and
I
then
wanted
his
to turn it
friend-
off.
I was like, God, dude, this, and then like they cut away to it and they cut back to it again. I was like, I honestly don't care about Jacuzzi at this point.
No,
He's
I
just
actually
a
want
whining
him to die.
crybaby.
Like his character is so
He's
annoying.
immortal. He's
His character is
immortal.
so
He can't
annoying.
die.
Jacuzzi.
All he
It's
does is
like-
fucking cry, and it's just like, why does he have these characters that like are his friends? Like,
Yeah.
literally
maybe
all
he-
he does is he cries.
What
like,
I was expecting to happen, what I wanted to happen was that like he had some sort of like alternate personality.
Yeah,
that, like,
that's what I thought
he was
too.
that's why he was like pleading for their lives. I was like, oh, he's about to turn like badass. Like we're gonna see his other personality like just fucking throw down and
No.
kill these guys.
But it was
No,
just Donnie
he-
that shows up.
Yeah, Donnie just shows up, smashes that dude's hand, and like just kills everybody. And then
But
I was like, all right,
I don't know, like, cause like you did see the people in the background that looks like they're part of the group or whatever, and they had
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
blue eyes. Like,
Yeah.
maybe he
They're
somehow
walkers.
like controls them. Like maybe that's his thing.
Is he the
It's
Night
like,
King?
I don't know.
He's
Like
the Night King. I don't
he-
know.
He's controlling blue-eyed people.
he.
Yeah.
This character has no redeeming qualities.
No, none.
Zero.
Whatsoever. Like, if his character had changed in that moment, I would have been like, oh, okay, cool. Like, that's interesting.
That's
a
why
new-
he's such a crybaby. But no,
Yeah, because like
No, he's
you know,
just
he
a
has like
crybaby.
such drastic sides, but no, he's just a whiny,
just a crybaby.
whiny baby, and it was really annoying. It was like Asta level screaming annoying, like so bad.
Black Clover.
Yeah, it was that bad.
no,
At least.
it's because he wouldn't get in the fucking robot.
I guess I'm gonna have to watch it and enjoy this
God.
episode.
Damn it, Shinji. Yeah, I don't know, man.
So 4.
Let's wrap this
You guys
up.
liked
Yeah,
4,
so-
but what are we gonna do? Because 1, 2, 3, no one liked. 4, not bad. 5, bad. Are we just gonna continue because we're halfway through almost at this point?
At this point,
Hey,
I mean, like, I'm gonna be completely honest. If I were just picking this up and did the 3-episode rule, I would have dropped.
I would have dropped it
already.
after the first episode. I'm
It's,
gonna be honest
it's not
with you right
good.
now.
Like, and so I mean,
But I mean, we should watch the 6th episode probably, because we don't know what Drew's opinion is.
right.
Mm.
Watch 6 and then see what he says about 5 and 6, and then go from there.
Yeah,
All right.
but then part of me is like, well, we've gone through half the show.
We might as well finish
Like,
it.
we might as well just fucking finish it. With
That's
despite how fucking bad it is.
That's bad logic,
Yeah.
though.
I'll give it one more week of that
It's a
banger
sunk
opening.
cost. It's a sunk
that?
cost. It's a sunk
I don't
cost
know.
at this point. If it's bad, it's bad. Just throw in the towel.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I don't-
My opinion is
like
not being
it.
swayed whatsoever. Like episode 4 was like the exception, but
Is there an an abridged version of this?
The Spark Notes. Is there a Spark Notes version?
Yeah.
I don't-
Somebody out there had to have made one. I don't know.
I honestly don't
Maybe
like
that'll-
it. Like, it was hard for me to get through the first episode, which is usually the point where I don't watch the show. Like Golden Time? Is that what it is? Golden?
Are you talking about the Tata Bonry and Drew's favorite show?
Is that the one where they're in college or whatever?
Yeah.
Is the blonde girl? Yeah,
Yeah,
Golden
yeah,
Time.
yeah.
Yeah, I watched like 3-4 minutes of the start and I couldn't continue, so I haven't ever watched the show. And it's
Well, I have a different opinion of that show because like I also don't like that show, but I actually thought that the first season of it was good.
I just got bored in the first episode. And
As soon
hadn't
as
even
the second
said
season
anything.
started, I was just like, all right, I know exactly what's going to happen in this show, and this is stupid, so I just stopped watching it.
I mean,
As soon as they introduced the stupid fucking ghost, oh my god.
I read a lot of Golden Time, but I kind of just read it just for the commodity of reading it, and I was like, meh.
No. The characters are fucking god awful.
Yeah.
That's another story. Drew can fucking defend the show all he wants, but I fucking hate it.
I don't think it's a good show. If I can't get past a couple minutes of it, it's not very good.
Yeah.
But then
don't
again,
know.
I couldn't
guess-
get past the first minute of Monogatari for a long time, and a lot of people think that's very good. So it was still
mean,
even hard when I had to watch it for Orashiri. I got past it because I was like, well, I have to, but I really didn't want to. I really didn't enjoy that. Anyways,
I don't know. All right, so
that's a diversion we just took down the road.
one
One
more
final
more.
week.
final week.
I'm
no
looking
more
forward to that
extensions
intro.
unless it's really good.
No,
Unless they
this is
fucking
it.
blow your mind this episode.
Yeah. It's got to be
Yes.
like this could be a 10 out of 10
Yeah,
show.
things got to start coming
Yeah.
together, and I got to I got to see some action. Like
we gotta see
You gotta see some
Jacuzzi die.
titties.
Got to see some boobs.
Gotta see
Gotta
Jacuzzi
see-
die.
Got to have more lit fire jazz, dude. It's
Dude,
got to be the whole
If
package.
that were just in the episode
Everything.
all the time, I would watch it.
It's got its
I would just
moments.
play
It's got its moments that like you get some really good jazz. Last week had some pretty good music.
I
If
just
you want
love
some
the
fucking
beginning.
good music like that and a show that's not shitty, just watch fucking
Cowboy Bebop.
Yes, that's one.
Cow-
But watch fucking Princess Principal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good show. I really love that show.
Just fucking watch
Yeah.
that. And I think that's coming back for a second season.
It
gonna have
got
to
a
finish
bunch
the
of
first.
special episodes. It's getting another season.
I think so. I could be wrong.
We were watching so many shows that season. I actually did not finish it because we weren't talking about it. So,
It was a good show.
It's a good show.
and I was watching
That
something
was
else.
a-
I was
That
trying
was,
to catch
that was
up
one
on
of
a
the sleepers of
different
that
show.
season.
I was trying to catch up on a different show's season so that I could talk about the next season, I think. But anyways. I digress.
Wait, I don't know.
Either way,
Yeah,
I don't think
okay.
we heard Alex's opinion about Gotobu no Hanayome getting a second season. Because he wasn't
Yeah,
here
did you-
last week.
Which one's that one?
Did you hear about that? The quintessential quintuplets. Getting a second
Can we
season.
move on? Thank you.
Excuse me.
That's his opinion.
That's my opinion.
Nice.
I don't want to even. How?
Good to hear your thoughts.
How? I don't.
Because we were talking about second seasons, and it's like it reminded me of that.
I don't even want to know. That's goodness. That just ruined my day. And today was not a bad day. Just the taste
Just
in show that
The
people
case of the
has.
Mondays.
It's another manic Monday, guys. Gosh.
Poor man.
I don't agree with that choice. I think that
Well,
the money could be better spent on so many other shows to give them a second season.
Let's
instead.
give Kaguya
Dude,
a
it's-
second
it's-
season.
Yeah.
Let's
Kaguya
give-
second- you
let's
get-
give,
You gotta
uh,
pick your own favorite waifu, dude.
Let's give
Waifu
another
wars.
season to Kazuma.
Konosuba?
Konosuba, yeah. Let's give another there. There's a lot of
Yeah,
other
one
shows
day.
that deserve the money better than that.
Isn't Konosuba getting like 2 movies though?
Yeah, and
they're
I-
getting a
and
movie
I
that's
want
And
a
like
coming out,
season.
a spin-off
next
anime.
month.
And I
right?
want a
Yeah.
season. I want an actual season as well. I want.
They're getting
the
a
whole
spin-off
package.
anime, right?
Yeah, but I want a normal,
Yeah.
non-spin-off.
It's like it's following like
The
Megumin
Megumin.
and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, but I want to follow the normal crew again. Rather
Can't
than
always get
watch,
what you want.
Rather than watch 5 stupid girls be stupid, and then the animation
I mean, he's
quality
not-
go to shit.
He's not wrong. That is actually the premise of the show.
It is.
That's why I didn't say it. It was like, well,
It legitimately is. I've watched
mean-
enough of it to know what the premise of the show is. It's literally a guy teaching 5 stupid girls to try not to be stupid while they get stupid and the animation quality falls around their heads. That's
they're at
Yeah,
least
but
all
don't
I
you
heard
want to
about
know
one
which
thing in their
one
lives.
of them was into him when he was delinquent?
everybody knows which one
We all
because
know
it's
it
the
was-
type of
we
show,
all
so
know it was
everyone
Itsuki.
knows. Yeah. It's there's
You don't
no
have to, I have only read the first few chapters of this manga, and I already know that it's fucking Itsuki. Like, there's no way they're gonna.
there's no
backtrack on
mystery,
that.
there's no surprise. You know
It doesn't-
exactly what's gonna happen.
The mystery-
animation is shit. The,
the
characters
mystery-
are shit.
The mystery is in knowing who wins.
But you
That's
know who
what- yeah.
wins.
No, you only know who the girl is in the picture,
But you
that
know
doesn't
who
mean
wins. One wins, but
No, you
actually,
don't know
in
who wins.
actuality,
You don't know who wins.
no, one wins, and then in actuality, they all win because they're just like, wow, we can live together. It's a harem, and it's just the wet dream of every fucking teenage boy who watches the show. Wow, I have 5 hot wives. This is great.
we're all winners because we came to love each other.
Yeah, came. It's like, wow, I get to have a sixsome with 5 twins.
He just swaps one out every week, dude.
You two, come.
No, that is going too far. One at a time. Only one at a time, buddy. You slow your roll there.
It's not me. It's the show, man. It's the show. Anyways, that's what I think.
Anyways.
Now you have my thoughts.
Gosh. Yeah, now we know. Now we know how you really feel, Alec.
Yeah, I don't.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on.
Yes,
So let's
let's.
move on to our happy hour. Man, that was a long segment.
It was. It was a long segment.
Speaking of
12%, guys.
multiple seasons.
I
yeah.
can't keep a thought in my head.
Attack on Titan. Let's switch over to Attack on Titan season 3, part 2,
Pardon us.
episode 52. There's too many numbers in there.
there's too many twos in there.
What?
Too many twos in there.
Too many.
Part
too many
two,
twos.
season 52. Attack on
Uh,
2.
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Teuton?
Yeah. This is another good episode. Like I said, there's a lot of action happening in this part of the season.
This wasn't even like
uh,
super action packed, but it was still good.
It was good. Yeah, this was good. I don't know. I don't know how to lead this. I'm afraid of
Spoiling
saying things
something?
that are spoilery.
If you're watching this, spoilers coming. There.
No, he means he doesn't want to spoil stuff that he knows from
Oh,
reading.
have you been reading?
I read
Oh.
past this point.
Oh, I see. Okay. Now I understand. I'm like, if
Yeah.
you're listening, expect spoilers.
I'll bring up my point that I wrote on here, and that there's a lot of foreshadowing that happened in this episode, which was cool, because you get the interaction, like the past interaction with Berthold and Reiner, where they are the ones who are responsible for Marco's death. And that was kind of a huge blow in the beginning of the season, or beginning of the series. Like, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And they kind of like revisit that again, and it ends up like Annie is also a part of it as well. So like all 3 of them knew and are responsible for Marco's death. And there's something else that like somebody on Reddit posted, that shows them seeing Marco afterwards, like when they're cleaning up bodies. Annie just sees his body and like just kind of starts breaking down and says, "I'm sorry." So like there's just so many meanings that like we didn't get at the time. Like this was back in season 1, and at the time like you're just kind of thinking, oh, like she's sorry like because she felt like she couldn't save anybody. But in reality, now that we know that she was there and responsible for it, yeah, her sorry has a completely different meaning.
meaning, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. It's cool to see these characters who were so fleshed out, in the past, see that they're still conflicted with, battling their once friends. I don't know. What were you guys' thoughts on like Bert Holt's kind of convictions in this episode? Rolando,
Me?
since you watched this, yeah.
Oh, did you not see this one, Alec? Okay.
No. Too much driving this weekend.
I think I'm not really sure because I feel like because of how little Bertolt's character has been developed, like I don't feel like I can empathize with him like at all.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I can empathize a little bit more with Reiner because he's been developed a little bit more. We know like kind of more a little bit more about how his character is, but
Yeah.
Bertolt, like I feel like is just like a weak antagonist, and like I don't like I don't get why he's so special. Like yeah, he's the colossal titan and stuff, but like I don't understand like why he's special and why I should feel for this group of titans that want to eradicate humanity. It's just like
Yeah.
there's so much like that has been shown and invested with us for the humanity side that like until we find out what the deal is with Aaron's dad in the basement and this whole coordinate thing, because it's like we know that humanity is being brainwashed by titans, and we know these titans want to eliminate humanity, so it's like that's the main crux of it all. But like why should I feel like Bertolt and Reiner's side has this sort of sense of justice? Like I don't understand. Like
Yeah.
because like they're sentient titans, like they grew to sentience. Like I don't like there's this whole deal with like them becoming sentient and like getting the ability to turn into humans, and it's just like for me it's just like I don't really get why. Like why should I care about all of this? Why should I not just care about the kind of just the struggles of the main cast?
That's a fair point, because I was thinking that too. After Bertolt was like, "Yeah, I need to do this, and like I'm gonna kill you because I have to."
Okay,
and
why?
I was thinking, yeah, right. And I was thinking that I was like, why again? Does he feel this need? And I don't know. I guess it kind of will explain some things a little bit later, but I do think that it's more of a point of you want to see Reiner and Bertolt as the antagonist, as like the villains, just because like you said, like we've spent so much time with humanity side, but their reason for being the antagonist isn't very strong. It's kind of just this blatant, well, we need to kill everybody because that's just what we're being told.
That's the main issue that I have with their motivations. It's just like, well, we have to kill them because they're like, he even says, it's like, I don't view you guys as a scourge or the devil spawn or anything. I just have to kill you. Oh, nice. Good one.
Nice.
All
Great.
right.
No, you.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's this kind of writing that has made me not liked a lot of like the last season, and it doesn't really make sense to me. Like a lot of the motivations are kind of misguided and poorly fleshed out.
Yeah, I agree, because like when I talk about things like foreshadowing, like there's some things that like the storyline does really well, and like the fact that we weren't given the entire like world story right off the bat. We kind of had to learn through characters. We had to learn through, people's deaths, like some of the interactions. Like that part is interesting, and it was like
That's good.
It has been done, really relatively well. But yeah, like you said, like some of the character motivations, some of the reasoning behind certain things are just like we just need to take them as fact.
Yeah.
And then like like not ask too many questions about it. But like then again, like when you start getting into things like that with the writing, then that's where you start like finding plot holes and finding holes, and like like I just can't side with the character because I don't understand. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
Like Erwin as a character, like I understand his motivations. Like as simple as he just wants to know, essentially. Like he felt like he was doing something for his father's sake, but now we know that he just wants to like know, essentially, like what is like out there. Like that's kind of like the motive, because like it's a similar motivation to like Armin and stuff. Like he wants to know like what drove his parents to go past the walls and like search outside. Like it's kind of like this theme of because like it's like humanity is trapped in a box, and like they want to know what they don't know, essentially, like the original sin, as you would call it, from like the Garden of Eden. But that's just humanity. Like humans are curious, and now we just get
human
this
nature at that point.
Yeah, it is human nature. And what I don't understand is like the fucking the matriarchy, not matriarchy, the monarchy. Just keeping humanity in the walls and brainwashing them. Like just like I don't understand this whole deal with Krista's bloodline, and then there's the motivations of the Titans. It's just the Titan power. Like I don't know.
There's some things that will be explained like relatively soon, at least in this season, thankfully.
Maybe.
No, definitely in this. By the end of this second part of the season, things will be
just
answered.
like, you know what? Fuck you guys. We're doing something different.
We're just gonna include a bunch of filler, like
We're trying to turn this into a 300 episode.
He flew in the air for like fucking 5 minutes, and I was just like, why doesn't anyone just fucking fly up there and thunder spear his ass?
Just thinking, they're just like Mikasa just fucking teleports. She's like, and now you're dead.
He might blow up into a nuke. It's just like, well, good, you saved humanity by sacrificing yourself. Like whatever.
I don't know. No, I think the questions will be answered. I just wish that they gave us more to go off of. It's like a slow process.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
As interesting as it was with how things played out, like everything was drawn out for an entire episode. And as the episode was drawing to a close, I'm just like, this episode's coming to a close because this is the logical progression of how things are. Bertold is going to be like, oh, I'm going to do this thing. And then they got to fucking like, I was just like, this episode's going to end within the next 5 minutes. I look down at the clock and like, yeah, it's at 18 minutes of 23. I wonder what's going to happen here.
Nothing happened except Bertold just transformed. Oh, but we don't know if Hanja's alive or dead.
Yeah, she's probably alive because we didn't see her dead body. So...
Man, I don't know. She's a good character. I like her character.
Hanji.
I
like her. She's cool.
Yeah,
I like her. So yeah, we'll catch up again next week. Hear Drew's thoughts. See what he thinks about this episode and next week's episode too.
I'll watch it as well.
Yes.
And 6.
Yes, you shall.
Yeah. Okay. I just tuned out so that I didn't get spoilerinos.
Right on.
Yeah.
Nothing really would have gotten spoiled because nothing really
happened. Yeah, nothing really happened. We already you already know Bertolt is there. It's just he transformed. All right.
But I didn't not expect that. the
Exactly.
armor Titan
Yeah.
showed up, I'm like, he'll show up eventually. It's
Yeah,
just a
they're gonna
matter
show
of
up.
when.
They're-
How he shows up will be a surprise to you.
Oh, okay.
How
Yeah.
about that?
Does he show up
Yeah.
out of the ground?
He flies in from the sky.
Oh,
Is
shit.
Superman.
He
He had-
actually
he had armor
transforms in
wings,
the
dude.
air and then comes down as this giant Titan just and blows up the whole
Yeah.
city. Nice.
Bertolt calls in his Megazord Iron Titan, and it lands on him.
Come.
And he assimilates.
To me, Godzilla. And then
Yeah. It's badass.
It is
dude.
morphin' time for
Nice.
him.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Mighty Morphin
Morphin
Power
time.
Rangers.
All right, let's move on. So, we have another One Punch Man. I did watch this week's, but we can talk about it next week. Alec, are you watching One Punch Man?
I am, yeah.
Did you watch this episode?
I believe so. I'm checking right now. We could just talk about it
Well,
next
Yeah,
week.
let's
when
cover
Drew's-
it. Let's cover it next week
Yeah,
when
I
Drew's
did
here.
see this one, but yeah.
All right.
I
well,
like
then,
the show.
Yeah, me too.
It's good.
It's good. We'll talk about next week's episode, and then we'll talk a little bit about the animation quality, which people had a lot of problems with. So we'll get into that next week. So let's move on to Shield Hero. Everybody watched this, correct? Alec, because there's some
There's
things
stuff
that
that
happened.
happened.
No, I
earlier.
watched-
spoilery.
I spoilery-ish stuff. It's episode 18, right?
Is it? I don't know what the
Big
episode-
laser from the sky.
Yes.
That's the one.
Okay.
Yeah. So spoiler alert. If you haven't watched it,
There's a big laser from the sky, and that's all that happens.
freaking laser beams.
It's
coming from the
23
sky,
minutes
dude.
of laser from the sky, and then it just ends.
Yeah. So we get the huge reveal that the other two heroes are dead.
Maybe.
Supposedly.
They're not dead.
Yeah.
No.
But we don't see their bodies. But yeah, the priest is like, oh,
You don't-
those fools are fucking dead.
You don't see their bodies. They're not dead.
Yeah.
No.
They're like, yeah, no, they're fucking.
And it
dead,
wasn't even
like
in
losers.
it was an after, like, so it was the previous episode after the credits. They showed them walk into that tomb or whatever, and then
Right.
open it. The sword is supposed to be there, and then big
The
laser
cardinal
beam.
weapons are supposed to be there.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought they had them already for some reason. I thought the weapons they were wielding were the cardinal weapons.
I'm not absolutely sure about that either.
That's what I thought.
Right, because that's what
Yeah.
I thought they said
don't
at the
know.
beginning. You start, and then he can't remove his shield. So I don't know. Maybe he
that's what I
has
thought, I
the
don't know.
cardinal weapon shield because they can't contain it. I don't know. And that's why he's the devil, because they can't keep his weapons. I don't know.
There's something going on
Something
with
weird.
this religion because it is the Three
Yeah.
Heroes Church.
It is, and he killed 2 of them. I mean, honestly, what I kind of wanted to see was the Queen Philo just go kill everyone. Like, just, all right, you know what? Let's reset this shit. Brah, and just like go murder everyone, and then let's get some
Victoria.
Vittoria,
Yeah.
yeah. Just go murder everyone, especially
reset
mine,
time, yeah.
mine, whatever her name is. Just especially her. Just go reset it, knock her in the face till she dies, and then let's just start over. Let's hit that reset button. It's a video game.
They should
after
have
all.
left her outside of the.
No,
They
yeah,
really
yeah,
should've,
totally
yeah.
They really
should've.
should have
Yeah.
just left her outside.
Oops.
Philo should've just
Oh, I'm
booted
so
her.
sorry. Did you fall outside of the
Oh, God,
impenetrable
she
shield that
melted.
broke? Oh, that would have been great. It would have been like, this is a great end. This is a
That
great
way
end.
you can charge the church with treason.
So now I just have to say there are 2 shows this week that left me disappointed with either someone not dying or someone dying in a way that I wanted them to die more violently. The other one's Game of Thrones.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Let's not even get into that because
No.
there's so many things that we could talk about
Yeah.
that.
Have you watched it?
Yeah, I watched
Okay, we'll
it
talk
yesterday.
later. We'll talk later.
Yeah, we'll talk later. Back to Shield Hero.
Yeah.
I thought that like him meeting Motoyasu, the
Spear, bro.
spear
Spear
dude,
boy.
Spear, bro.
like I completely expected that to happen.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, we're gonna run into a hero. Let's hope it's not
Let's-
Motoyasu.
Oh, guess it is.
Who
we
is
all know
it?
it's gonna happen too because fucking Ren and Itsuki got fucking hit by a laser beam.
Yeah. Yep. So it's like, all right, now that he protected them, hopefully you think that
No.
you know he's
No.
gonna understand, but more than likely
No.
not. I'm like,
No,
we
he's
all
just gonna
know
listen
that,
to mine, and
And mine is the one that fucking put him in this shitty situation in the first place.
Yeah, like literally almost got them all killed. But yeah, of course, I don't know. Maybe they're brainwashed. I don't
She's
know.
gonna say you used your brainwashing shield on the Pope, and that's why he's trying to kill us. And it's like, well, why is he trying to kill me anyway?
I just want fucking
It's-
Melty to smack the shit out of mine.
Yeah, I guess I like Melty's character. I
Yeah.
like her.
I find her better now. A couple episodes ago, I was like, just shut the fuck up, God. She was just
Oh.
irritating.
I mean, she's a child.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
she is.
Fuck.
We all know how Alec feels about children.
I don't like them.
Fair enough.
Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. So I think at this point we're kind of heading in like a weird direction. Either the heroes are really dead, and then
No.
do all four of them need to be killed in order for them to reincarnate? I forget how that
Yes.
works.
That
They do.
was what they or that's what Vittoria talked
said.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So it's pretty unlikely that that's going to happen. But,
Yes.
either that is, one case, or they're still alive and then they all, start banding together. I think from this point, I don't know, I'm kind of interested to see how much shit that the church is going to kind of incur from the heroes at that point. I don't know.
I feel like also
I'm
that the
hoping.
church is like this Three Heroes church. I feel like is only in Melromark.
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like because if the other dragon hourglass or whatever these things are called, if these other countries have them, and like each country is supposed to like summon a different hero, I have a feeling that they don't have this Three Heroes church or whatever. I have a feeling they all worship all the heroes
Yeah.
because it just
that's-
makes more sense.
Well, the queen is in a different
that's the other thing too.
place as well, right?
The queen is still within the country, but she's somehow being
I thought she was out of the country.
she's like
but yeah,
somehow
she's
being like imprisoned, or
yeah.
like there's something going on with that we still don't know about.
Yeah.
But she does have her own like ninja squad.
I bet though that some of the
The Squirtle Squad.
Yeah.
the country or whatever that's mainly demi-humans probably hates the three regular heroes and likes the shield hero. Because demi-humans always hate the spear, sword, and bow and like the shield bro.
I thought it was just that the shield hero has always been kind to demi-humans, and so that's why they
Yeah.
like the shield hero.
Right, they like...
I
But
think that was it.
didn't
I
they
don't think
say
they
something...
hate
I don't think they hate
the other
heroes.
I
heroes.
thought they said something about the other heroes not being kind to demi-humans. They don't, like, hate them, but they don't... Like, if they're going to worship someone, it would be specifically the shield bro.
I think
No.
But it's
The
more like
main-
a friendship deal.
I think
Yeah.
my interpretation of it is Melromark hates the shield hero because he sides with the demi-humans, and they severely want to keep demi-humans down. Is my
Enslaved.
thoughts.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I think it's more of like the
Political
shield hero.
I want to know about this other town,
Yeah.
though. There's demi-human town, Melremark, and then that other one.
Their countries actually.
Country, yeah. But they haven't
Yeah.
really talked about that third one. They just said, like,
That's-
let's not go
yeah.
there. We'll go to the demi-human place.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, I don't know about that place. You people.
You people.
So, what do
Yeah.
you mean, you people? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I want
Yeah,
to
I
know
don't
more
know.
about that other town, too. That'd be cool. But
Yeah.
anyways, we don't have much time in the show. So
I don't know if we have enough time. Yeah, I don't know. I have a
Home
feeling this.
Depot.
Yeah, I have a feeling that as long as people are happy with like the way that this gets wrapped up, and I think that there's still a lot of source material, this will definitely get another season.
I hope so. It's really good.
Yeah, I don't doubt
They have
it.
good villains that make me hate them, which is good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're not really like villains. They're
No,
just
they're Team Rocket essentially. Like to be
Yeah.
honest, they're like
pretty much.
like he got kicked again, and she was like, "Oh no, Mochi, yes!" And her eyes got all big. I was like, "This is actually Team Rocket." Like blasting off
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we'll keep watching this one. We'll wrap up again next week.
I enjoy it.
You said this was episode 18.
Yes.
Does anyone know how many episodes are going to be in this season?
23.
23.
I think.
Thank you.
I think I saw that somewhere. So
You're really quick with that.
Yeah.
It's almost like he knew.
it's almost like I had now watched. I'm wrong. It's like actually
Really believed
27
you.
or
It's like
something.
26 episodes or something.
No, I'm
like
pretty.
that.
I
Yeah, it
remember
just got
reading
another
somewhere that
season.
it was like 20. That it was 23. I'm fact checking. I'm Devin today.
Okay. Okay, cool.
23,
Um,
so just like Slime Guy.
Slime
Yeah,
boy.
yeah. I like
23,
Slime, yeah.
23 and a wrap up episode.
Yeah, I didn't like that end episode. I started seeing like all the, a recap, and I was like,
Yeah, and
What?
I know what
Fast
you're
forward,
I was
fast
just like, wait,
forward.
didn't it end the last
turned it off.
episode? And then I'm just like, all right, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna watch this. It's
Okay.
fucking Veldor playing chess.
So I was wrong. It's 25.
25.
25. Okay.
I was off by 2. Not big.
I think it'll. I don't know. We can come back to this, but yeah, I think it'll get another season. I think it'll end
It's
on a
a,
good
it's a
note.
popular
I hope
IP,
it
I think.
continues into the next season. It's just a
It-
Dude,
Damn.
summer season is gonna be
gonna be lit.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah. Well,
I
I
have a
mean, we
feeling.
thought this one was gonna be shit, and there were some
It-
that turned out pretty good.
It's been
got
pretty
some gems.
shit.
No,
It's
the
got a
Stars
few
on My
gems in
was
it.
good.
The one
Carol
show.
and Tuesdays.
Carol and
Okay,
Tuesdays
Carol and
pretty
Tuesdays is good, but
One
that's not
Punch
like-
Man season 2's pretty
Carol
good.
and Tuesday had hype behind it though.
That's
Stars
true.
on My the only hype around it was Ikuhara was it's his show.
Yeah.
What's the other one? The other show.
Exactly. See the fact that we're having a discussion about this.
Demon Slayer. I like Demon Slayer. I think it's really good.
Speaking of, Demon Slayer is a good show.
It
I
is.
really like the show.
It's
but
really good.
it did look good from like the previews. It looked like it was gonna be a cool show, and it's
I
interesting.
mean, I agree. The little description they put on Mal did look interesting, so that's why I watched it. But
yeah.
yeah,
But
Anyway,
it's
there's a few
good.
out there.
It's been consistently good though,
Yeah.
which I am so glad. Like it's refreshingly good.
And I really like the anime style. It is
Yeah,
really
I mean, it's
cool.
ufotable. Like they do
Uh-huh.
action sequences like no other studio. I mean, like just watch any of the Fate series. Like the action is just,
It's just-
above and beyond. It's amazing.
It's okay.
Yeah, like even though that like it gets like super unrealistic. Like where the fuck did all this water come from? It's badass. Like it looks so cool. What are you? God damn
It's
it.
not below the waist. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
You can't see it.
you can't do that.
Stands up on his chair. I mean, yeah, this show is like so cool to watch.
It is.
It's
really
awesome.
cool to watch. It's a fun
Yeah.
show to watch, and I like the story. Like beyond the fight scenes and stuff, the story is actually pretty interesting, and kind of seeing
Yeah.
where it's gonna go with his sister and all that is interesting. So
Yeah, it's engaging because it's like we really feel for both of the character, both like the main character and the sister at this point. It's like had the sister not had any like, human tendencies again, like if she didn't exhibit like any of this like cuteness or,
Right.
like willing to protect, I feel like I wouldn't
Must
feel
protect.
for her. Exactly. She must protect. I feel like I wouldn't, be on her side or be on like the main character's
To
side.
be like,
that
just
much.
cut her head off or something.
Yeah, I'd be like, dude, like.
And then at
just
that
get
point,
get
I'm like,
over it. Your
dude, you're
sister's a
really
demon.
fucking annoying. Like, God. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
agree. And it's the OP makes me
Oh, he's
interested
good.
in seeing like, is there gonna be some sort of tag team that they get going, like Demon Her versus, and him, because she gets like that long hair with the color at the bottom, and she, it looks like a fighter mode version of her or whatever you want to call it, that sort of thing. And so it like, I don't know, it looks like some sort of they fight demons because he can't do it alone, and she
Yeah.
gives him the upper hand, then sleeps for a year, and then they go fight another demon. But it's been good, and I think it's had really good writing with like the what's his name, big nose guy. Yeah, his teacher, his trainer guy.
The teacher. Yeah.
I thought that whole kind of arc that they had there, where he was like it was almost like a dad son.
Rokodaki.
Yeah.
Rokodaki. Yeah.
Yeah, him. The dad son dynamic that they had like between those was really well done, and
Yeah.
like, yeah. So
Yeah, I actually like that because they don't really like go into a whole lot of depth with like the passage of time. Like it shows him training, and like you kind of just see that he's been there for a long time because like
Right.
his hair grows out. Like you could tell that he's kind of being weathered by the training. Like he's gone through a lot. But and I think they like barely mentioned something about like it being like over a year and then like another 6 months or something.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
like things like kind of jump like really quickly, but we get to see the interaction between Urokodaki, and like see that the way that they interact with each other, and then like you can kind of tell that like they've been there for a while because
Yeah.
they feel so close to each other. Like it's you actually really get a lot of their relationship.
yeah, you see it change really effectively without a lot being said or done.
Yeah, which is cool. That's a good.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good way to write that like passage of time, like training, because it could very easily
Oh.
get monotonous.
It could
and,
very
you know,
easily
like-
be an entire season of training and be like, I've been on this mountain for 16 episodes. Like,
yeah, or you
just
like
look at
Dragon Ball
Naruto
levels
or
of training.
Dragon
like,
Ball Z, yeah. There's an entire arc of fucking hyperbolic time chamber.
Exactly. Like at some point, you know, it gets to be a little bit long.
At some point, you're like, God, it's been 6 episodes. Leave the hyperbolic time chamber and just fight already. Like,
Seriously.
yeah.
I love. I actually really like the show.
It's very
Yeah, and then the fact that Nezuko is like just so funny, like such a great
Yeah.
character, is definitely puts it on another level. Like
She's-
she's just like crawling into the little
Right.
box.
Right.
You like
I
looked at it. It was like no.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I guess so. I liked the previous episode where she literally, he's calling out to them or whatever, and it's just silent, and then she just busts down the door. She's like, "Poosh,"
Yeah.
and she like looks at it and runs over.
Yeah.
It's just
Like,
funny.
I was kind of expecting her of like for a second I was like, oh fuck, did
yeah,
she
I
like
thought
ate
she
him
like
or killed
ate
him?
Yeah, or he cut off her head or something at a barrier. I don't know. I was
Yeah,
like,
I was like, oh shit.
they did a good job there, and then she just kicks down the door. I was like, this is funny.
Yeah.
So they have
Yeah.
they have just really good comedic timing that you don't expect. It's like I did not
Yeah.
expect a joke to show up there. It looked like a serious moment, and then it was like, oh, all right, here we are.
Cool.
So,
Oh, what a
was-
heartwarming moment.
Right?
Yeah, it was good.
so I like
Yeah.
the show. Good show.
Me
Highly
too.
recommend
It
to
is-
every listener.
This is a good show, definitely. So yeah, I think that does it for our happy hour. We'll move on to our closing. I know that we had something in here. We had some news that was posted on our Discord, and that was about like the purchase from the was it Flying Dog? No, Boston Brewing and what was it? I'm trying to pull it up.
Where's the news?
It's not in our
I know what you're talking about. The people who the
dog.
It was the
Dogfish
Boston-
head and
Boston Brewing Company or whatever.
Yeah,
Bought it.
Boston Brewing Company and Dogfish Head had a merger deal, like $300 million deal.
yeah.
Which is kind of
Boston Beer Company.
Yeah, Boston,
Boston
Beer
Beer
Company, and
Company.
Dogfish Head merge in $300 million deal. Yeah.
yeah, which is like Sam Adams is under like Boston Beer Company. So this is kind of like a something that has happened in a couple other instances, like with Ballast Point. So like bigger brewer companies will buy out like small craft beer brewers. But what's kind of nice about this merger is that they're saying that Dogfish Head is still going to be
Independent.
have like full rights to their their creations and kind of
'Cause
do their
it's
own thing still.
Less of a buyout and more of a collaboration, it seems like.
It's
not
like two
really,
companies
but-
kind of coming together.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It still kind of has me worried about direction of
Big beer.
craft beer.
It's honestly the natural outcome. So it's
I
like
agree. I was gonna say the same thing.
so sometimes stuff like this happens because maybe one company has a certain means or resource that another one doesn't. So it's like, let's say in specifically this situation, maybe Boston Beer Company is has more of the marketing and kind of means of production, whereas Dogfish Head probably has
More
more
talent.
more of the sort of, maybe they have more of the creative brewers that Boston Beer Company wants. And so like
Yeah.
while they want to keep them under the same Dogfish Head independent brand, they do want to be able to have access to some of their assets, is how this kind of thing I see.
Like if you look at a lot of this stuff historically, a lot of industries do this thing where it starts out as a ton of little small things, and then a few big ones pop up, buy up a lot of small ones because it just makes sense. They make a lot of money for the the business they started, and they get the resources, and the other business gets the passion and love and abilities of the thousands of smaller businesses to come into their business, making them bigger. But then eventually gets to the point where those get too like corporate, too over manufactured. He's just did we talk about butts again by accident?
Like he's
No, I
trying to give his explanation, and Roscoe just
he's
comes
like,
in.
I heard you talking about big beer companies. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you what I have to say about
I heard
those.
dog. I heard the word dog.
That's exactly it.
It would have been the best if you had like a fish costume head and he rolled up with it. That would have been perfect. That would have been just like he accidentally got it on. But yeah, so anyways, they'll buy them up, and then it gets to the point where like can't think of a better word, but the hipsters, the people who are like, well, this has gotten too corporate, it feels too sterile for me to want to go to these companies. And then that's when the like little breweries start popping up again, and you get that nice balance of large to small. Right now we just have so many small, it's just natural for the larger ones to be like,
natural
let's buy this
progression.
one. And a lot of those
Yeah.
smaller ones, they don't know how to run a business. They don't know how to be really profitable. And for them, their best move actually is to sell
to
to
do
a
this.
bigger one, because it's like, well, we're kind of going under, and if we sell, we're going to make a massive profit and like still get to do what we want to do with health benefits and all these other corporate structures that they bring to it. And that helps solidify the industry. That will help solidify the craft beer industry and keep all those really great craft brewers who aren't part of the big place like with jobs making these great beers. And so I have to say, I think it's a good, like, you never know, but I think it's
like
a good
natural
progression
thing.
Yeah.
This isn't something
'cause I
like
mean-
AB InBev buying a bunch of breweries. This is
Right.
these are two smaller brewers coming together. Although Boston Brew is like the second biggest
It's pretty big.
craft brewery.
It's pretty huge. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it's not like
it like you said,
Anheuser-Busch.
like right, like it makes sense as like a growth from like a growth perspective, because at that point, like if you're part of like a bigger brewing or association, you can start sharing like distribution centers. You could start sharing like getting your beers into places that they weren't before,
and
which
that
is a positive
is
for the
nice
company.
everyone as well, the
Right.
consumers.
But then like there's also that risk too, that like once you're part of a bigger company, then you get like shareholder input, or people who start talking about like, well, that's not like really in line with our company company motto. That's like, we're not really like trying to provide
like
that sort
Blizzard
of
and
like
Activision.
Exactly, like it starts becoming like a kind of like a micromanaging of like what used to be a very independent company starts becoming like this like, I don't know, smaller offshoot of the larger company, and like that's where like creativity starts dying out.
Yeah.
So like,
Because people are like, I
hopefully
don't
it
want to go
doesn't-
work there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to be part of this like mass corporation. I want to be a part of like help the little guy grow, because I have good input. I have good thoughts, and I have good ideas,
And
that,
I can sell
can
their
be
product
implemented.
really fucking well.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
think the
So, I don't
saving
know. We'll
grace
see.
of like the beer industry in this place of like trying to avoid that happening is the fact that beer fans are fanatic. Like people who love craft beer I haven't, like, there aren't that many like industries where the people are so involved in like researching, it's these niche markets, like photography or audio or beer. Like, people who just go so in depth on wanting to know every little aspect about all of it, where I think craft brewing has built such a large fanship of that type, where if they just start buying it up and they start making it so corporate and allowing creativity to die, people, the beer drinkers, the craft beer drinkers, are going to start being like, I'm tired of the same stuff. They'll see sales drop, and they'll see that they need to bring back that creativity, and that will happen rather quickly, I think. Hopefully. That's my opinion, at least, and kind of the saving grace of craft beer, and hopefully it'll keep it from getting too corporate. So, who knows? That's my guess. Anyways, before I get too crazy talking about random shit that my teachers used to talk about in school.
All right. Well, we should probably end because I don't think there's anything else on our docket here.
No, I'm looking at it, and we do not have. We have announcements, and I think that was
the
only announcement.
That was the only announcement. I did find, and this is something that I'll have to read about because it was kind of interesting. So EU fines AB InBev 200 million euros over anti-competitive practices.
Wait, who? Who?
The EU.
Oh, the EU. Oh, the EU.
Yeah, the EU.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I need to read this article because it's interesting. But yeah, maybe we'll talk about it next week. We'll come back to it.
Yeah. We'll analyze
'cause
it. We'll come back with some thoughts.
Yeah, we'll do a full write up. We'll spread it around our peers. We'll get it peer reviewed.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back and discuss it.
And then we'll get it peer reviewed by our second
by
peers.
our viewers.
By our viewer peers.
By our
Listener-
peers.
Yeah,
listener peers.
By our peers.
Yeah.
It'll be good. It'll be good times.
Nice.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, I think that's it. Sorry, dog grabbed something that he
should not have.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Save the dog. Save the dog. It's important.
And that's his tail. Sorry.
I thought he was like hitting something with a hammer or something.
Dunk, 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 dunk.
All right.
He's so excited.
Yeah, all right. Sorry. Yeah,
okay.
that's about it from our announcements. Anything else that you guys have?
No,
Nope.
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
No.
No.
So I guess that does it for us today. Thank you guys for watching. And again, if you're listening right now, you can find us. We usually stream on Sundays. We did a little bit differently because the holiday yesterday is Mother's Day. But we usually stream on Sundays on Twitch, so twitch.tv/animeondraft. And if you're watching us right now, you can find all of our previous podcasts, or you can find all of our, whenever we release new episodes, you can find those on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Spotify as well. And of course, follow our social media. We're on Twitter at @AnimeOnDraft, just to stay up to date. I've been trying to be a little bit more active on that, so I've been like retweeting stuff, talking to people about whatever their favorite shows are. So yeah, follow us on Twitter. That'll be cool. And you can also see the beers that we're drinking on our Instagram. So that is Anime on Draft Podcast. And as always, if you have anything else you want to talk to us about, any other qualms, concerns, if you want to be on the show, maybe if you have stuff that you don't want to reach out to us on social media, you can email us at animeondraft@gmail.com. And I think that does it for us this week. So thank you for joining us, and we will catch you guys next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.